Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Let us peel back the drapery of decades, if we may, and take a gander at a production most peculiar, a rehearsal never meant for the public stage, but crafted in secrecy for the most dangerous theater of all, the suppression of the people. It bore a curious name, as many covert things do, Operation Cable Splicer. How quaint, how clinical. Yet beneath its sterile sobriety lay a performance soaked in suspicion and saturated with dread. In the waning years of the 1960s, as protests filled the streets and the youth dared to dream of justice, the powers that be began to tremble. Not at war abroad, no, but at dissent at home. And so, in the shadow of their own fear, they began to rehearse. Cable Splicer was not simply a plan. It was a prototype for power unbound, a dry run for martial law, a symphony of subjugation conducted by generals, governors, and bureaucrats cloaked in patriotism, yet drunk on domination. Under the guise of national emergency, they plotted the takeover of local and state governments, choreographed the cooperation of civil and military forces, and envisioned the detention of dissidents en masse, not abroad, mind you, but right here on American soil. And who were the spectators at this covert cabaret? None other than Governor Ronald Reagan, who opened the act with chilling candor. His words, as sharp as razors, warned that such exercises might appear like military coups. But worry not, dear citizen, it's all in the name of order. Edwin Meese, that future paragon of legal virtue, echoed the sentiment. In the long run, he said, this is the only way to prevail. Such words may soothe the tyrant's soul, but to the free man's ear, they strike like thunder. And what did they plan, you ask? Detention centers, my dear friends. Entire infrastructures designed to house tens of thousands. Disused military bases retrofitted into camps with rail, road, and air access. A civil society stripped bare, governed by executive orders, 10990, 11005, 113110, all carefully penned to suspend liberties and cede power to centralized hands. The police, the sheriffs, the mayors, mere footnotes in the new chain of command. The baton would pass from the people to the Pentagon. The uniform would change, but the silence would be the same. They called it preparedness. I call it premeditation. Cable Splicer was the quiet birth of Rex 84, a plan to detain hundreds of thousands should unrest become inconvenient. It lived on in FEMA blueprints and martial law manuals, whispered in congressional hearings, shrugged off in mainstream headlines, and burned into the conscience of those who dared to look closer. Do you understand? They rehearsed. For you. For me. For the day they thought we'd awaken. And though the curtains never rose, yet the stage remains. The camps have names, the orders still stand, the lines have been drawn in invisible ink. But ink can bleed, and secrets can scream. So I ask you, when the play begins again, and it always does, will we still play the part of the passive? Will we sit in our seats, popcorn in hand, and call it security? Or will we rise, masks in place, truths in hand, and rewrite the script? Cable Splicer was not a warning, it was a whisper of intent. Let us then no longer whisper back. Remember, the rehearsal is over, and the time for performance is now.